Murphy of Effective Effort Consulting covered over 20 years and as an educator and as a coach helping individuals with ADHD and other neurodiverse needs find practical strategies to help organize and plan and overcome these executive function challenges and achieve their goals. Okay, now let's look at the Order Out of Chaos Academic Planner for all students, especially game changer for students with ADHD or executive function challenges, and for those students that are busy middle schoolers or busy high schoolers or for student athletes with ADHD. This planner is designed with a dynamic format that's simple to use, but it encourages the awareness of everything I got going on in my life. So it encourages and reinforces that time awareness piece, which is especially helpful for students balancing workload, extracurricular activities, and social activities. Even how to balance and plan my weekends. All right, so why this planner works? Well, it works because it builds in a weekly layout that visually separates each class into certain categories that allows you to easily see what's going on and how to plan out each class. And you can actually start to see what's due and when, which is game-changing, right? So according to a study in 2021 called Study Skills for Thriving with ADHD, published by CHAD, which is a Children and Adults with Attention Deficit Hyperactivity Disorder, discusses the statistical benefits of a structured planner to breaking down study tasks into concrete, manageable parts for students with ADHD or executive function challenges. Students with ADHD who use a structured, subject-specific planner find a marked improvement in their ADHD symptoms, and they also see a marked improvement in their grades and in their confidence. The layout helps minimize executive dysfunction by giving students a simple and concrete system and layout to help break down tasks, projects into manageable steps. By doing this, it reduces the task paralysis, but also helps reduce the feelings of being overwhelmed because everything's just stuck up there and I just don't know where to start. And so that feeling of paralysis, that feeling of overwhelm takes over. And this type of system helps break that tendency. So how this layout works. Well, there's three really components to this layout that are important to know and be important to use and important to understand. The one is the weekly view by subject. The weekly spread organizes tasks by subject so students can see at a glance what assignments are due for each class, not only for that day, right? So go kind of that day, but also for multiple days in advance, really learning how to stretch that temporal horizon. So this layout is especially helpful for ADHD brains as it breaks down overwhelming lists into clear, manageable sections that allow me to forecast and see into my future what I have going on and what I need to do today in order to achieve that long-term goal. The time management feature is also game-changing. Each day is broken into specific blocks for homework, study time, and activities, making it easier for students to establish how long each task will take. This is really important for the busy, dynamic student that wants to fill everything up in their day, right? They don't want to stop. They want to add and add more to their plate of life, which is a classic ADHD, right? I want to be doing things, fully involved, but I also don't want to be pressured, feel like I've run out of time. And this type of system can help with that. And then the third part is the customized section. The planner includes sections for tracking extracurricular activities, appointments, and other commitments for students to see how they're going to negotiate priorities and interests and responsibilities. This is really important because within that structure, within that part of the format, you can put in your study time in between those windows of time when you're juggling other interesting activities that you have going on after school. One of our younger clients, Jake, a high school sophomore, a student athlete on a 504 plan for ADHD, he used to feel completely overwhelmed by his workload. He would kind of try to track it in his mind, or he would go on to the LMS platform and he'd kind of look at what he has going on for tomorrow. But the truth is, as a bright, capable, busy student, he needed a better system to be able to break those assignments down and make it his own. Because when you go onto the LMS platform, it's just a representation of some things that are due, but it's not saying how long that'll take. It's not factoring in your busy schedule. It's not factoring the AP deadlines or some of the other project-based outcomes that you are responsible for managing over the course of a couple weekends. It's not doing any of that. So he'd feel completely overwhelmed and shut down, and he'd find himself running out of time most of the time. But with the Order Out of Chaos Planner, he was able to list each subject and assignment separately and see what was due on his own time. So he wasn't a victim of like 6 assignments due on a Friday. He could break those things up into manageable parts. This structure has made a huge difference, and not only him getting things passed in on time, which is a huge goal for so many students with ADHD. Getting things done is step 1, but can I get them done on time is step 2, and how that was building his confidence and academic outcomes. And also his relationship with his teachers, because he wasn't feeling that shame or kind of guilt of like not having things done or feeling like he's not prepared. So it really improved in so many levels his academic and personal outcomes. And as a student athlete, we can't ignore how important it is to be able to effectively juggle your sports schedule after school with your study time after school, and be able to get a good night's sleep and be able to manage distractions. So it really gave him a platform to organize his time and organize and categorize his time in the evenings to be more effective at how he transitioned between preferred, non-preferred activities in the evening, and just then feeling like he's done and can get a good night's sleep, which of course allowed him to start the next day on fire. Then the Order Out of Chaos Planner gives students a framework, a real meaningful framework to think about their priorities from subject by subject to also extracurricular activities, and how to juggle that dynamic life of a dynamic student athlete with ADHD. Thanks for watching, and remember, finding the right time management tool can make a huge difference in your day-to-day life. But there isn't really wrong tools as much as there are tools that I need to learn how to consistently use and build into my life.